the faction trait, one of the faction traits of the new Celtic factions, is that they can use guerrilla deployment even with artillery. And since you have 3 of these factions, you could end up in situations like this. Both me and Obelix have deployed in guerrilla style, and we end up this close to each other. Notice where his general is in relation to mine. This is okay, it's funny, it's hilarious, but it's retarded as hell. How the hell did this army deploy on an open plain next to this army and the generals didn't fucking notice? I'm not one to rage at the Creative Assembly much for what they are doing or not doing. I might criticize. I try to be constructive. I've seen that a lot of suggestions have been picked up by the Creative Assembly and implemented in this patch. I'll talk about it later. Where they picked it up from, I do not know. It might be anywhere. It might be they thought of it themselves, or I have no idea. But anyway, this is one of their more uninspired design decisions. Look at these 2 armies next to each other here. And this is... what's going to happen here is that I'm just going to see his general. I'm going to start giving attack orders with my cavalry. I'm going to start smashing, because I react quicker here. I'm going to smash his general. Then I'm going to smash his Celtic axe band. Then I'm going to smash into his infantry line. Then I'm going to be in range with my crappy bows and just pour the fire in. And the same is going to happen to me over here, but with units that are sort of less important to me, because the general of Obelix now is just basically dead. And expect to see a lot of this in quick battles. People deploying right next to each other, and then having a clusterfuck of a battle like this. So yeah, now the blobs have formed a lot sooner than they usually do. It was all about charging in with my cavalry and getting rid of the units of Obelix here. So there's nothing much to say about this battle. What's happening here is I just saw Obelix's units and I started clicking them. That's it. Zero maneuvering, just pure rushing and pure idiocy. And I have to say that this design decision of making several factions that can all guerrilla deploy is just, it's baffling that they thought this was a good idea. Having 2 armies, it's stuff like this that gets picked away in a beta. Like they try, okay, let's try giving 3 armies, the entire army, the ability to guerrilla deploy, and let's just see how that works out. And then people see shit like this happening, and they're like, well, CA, it might have sounded great in your head, but in practice, it's not really that great, because you get deployments like 5 meters away from each other. It's not very realistic, and game balance takes precedence over realism, of course. But when it's both idiotic, unbalanced, and doesn't make any sense, then one has to start questioning why such a feature should exist in a game. So yeah, we are finishing off here the blobs. Isn't really much to say about this battle. It was just me clicking, charging, zero maneuvering, then Obelix clicking, counter-charging me. Now it's a matter of just finishing off these blobs. I have more units than Obelix has left. I have some archers left. They're not getting a lot of kills. I'm doing some friendly fire casualties as well over here, but just finishing off his units. My gallow glasses are doing a lot of damage, but this battle was won by the first cavalry charge, and I have to say these types of faction abilities are a huge step backwards. Sure, you can do some fun stuff with it, but you can also get absolutely retarded stuff like this happening. And once again, the community has to make rules so that the game is playable for tournaments and stuff. Now, for quick battles, of course, things could very well be like this. But just look at the cavalry here. This battle is won by my dirt cheap, horrible triple gold cavalry. The axes didn't stand a chance against my swords, and yep, that's it. The Ebdanians versus the Picts. That's the Tin Isle mercenary pack and the new DLC for you. Expect to see a lot of this in quick battles, and hopefully these factions just won't be used like this in tournaments, because it's just stupid as hell. Strength and honor.